Welcome to another episode of Questions Are Answers, and today we're going to be talking about money, and more specifically, mindset about money. So, I get questions all the time about what is money, first of all, and what should my mindset be towards money. So, if you're like me, I grew up in a household that did not have a lot of money. So, money was always a taboo type of topic. And so, if you grew up in that type of environment, most likely you have a lot of negative beliefs around money, which hold you back from being able to, one, make more and attract more, and to be able to allow it to flow through to you and from you so that you can then provide even more value to other people. The way that I now think about money is very different than when I grew up. And it wasn't until that I switched my mindset about money that I began to, one, make more, and two, was able to give more away. So let's break down what money is exactly. At a core, money is a tool. It's not good or bad. When I grew up, money was considered evil, and whoever was rich was greedy, self-centered, selfish, and all of this stuff. Now, having a little bit more insight into this, I now realize that money is purely just a tool. It can be used for good or for evil, just like a hammer. It can be used to build or destroy something. What we do with it, and more importantly, what our intention is behind using it, will determine whether it's quote unquote good or bad. So money itself isn't evil. It's just whoever's using it and their intention behind it is what determines that. The second thing about money is that it's really just an exchange of value. It's probably one of the most genius systems humans ever created in terms of exchanging value and energy with each other to be able to become a more productive society. So, for example, if we had to go buy a laptop right now and it was maybe like 100 or even 500 to 1,000 years from now or before, we would literally have to go get the raw materials, construct it ourselves, be able to learn how to program all of this stuff to be able to build our own computer. But with money, instead of you having to go do all those things yourself, like mine the ores, build it together, like learn how to do engineering, programming, all of that stuff, you can now just spend $1,000 to just go buy a laptop and instantaneously have it instead of having to go do all of that yourself. That is probably the most ingenious system that we've created to exchange things. So back then it was bartering, so we'd have to for example, we'd have to exchange 2 sheep for 10 jugs of milk. That wasn't really an efficient system, so we came up with currency. That's all money is. We're literally just bartering with each other, and it's really, and when we break it down into its fundamental level, it's an exchange of energy. So how much energy you put in, how much value you can get out of something is really what money is all about. So when I started looking at money as a tool, right, in exchange for, if I'm able to do something now and get money for it, I can then transfer it to something else. So this is so amazing because now we can spend all of our time doing something that we absolutely love, get money for it, and then use it to take care of all the other aspects of our life without having to learn how to do all of that stuff. We can buy food instead of having to grow it. We can have a bank instead of having to store it all in our house. We can have this camera. We can have literally anything we want. And honestly, it's like being able to manifest something instantaneously. With money, it's basically manifestation in real time. Like I can just go to the store and buy something immediately and have it. And there's almost no time needed in that exchange. When before we would have to wait a lot, we'd have to grow something, we'd have to like go through all, like just the passage of time to be able to get something. And now with money, it's instant. So I'm just like so incredibly grateful for money, which allows me to then have more, attract more, and for it to be able to flow. So one of the biggest things that stopped me from being able to make more money was just first thinking that it's evil or that whoever has a lot of money is just not good or that they're selfish or whatever it is. It's definitely not the case. I know tons of people who are wealthy, like beyond, imagination, that gives so much away. So it's like you can find examples for anything. You can pretty much prove almost anything in this world. So if you just look for examples outside, our reticular activating system will then go find examples that prove what we believe. So whatever you believe about money will dictate your interactions with it, how you feel towards it, and at the end, determine how much you can possibly make. So for me, the way that I view money is that it's really an exchange of value. The more that I'm able to provide value and give my energy to other people in terms of serving them, helping them grow, and all of that type of stuff, the more money I'm able to actually make. And the more money I can make, the more I can give. So I see it really as filling my own cup when it comes to money. And it allows me to have so much more opportunity, if that makes sense. So that's really the way that I see it. I see it as opening up new opportunities for other people, giving them access to things that they couldn't have accessed prior without it. So I see it really as a tool for that. So look at the mindset that you have towards money. I'm not going to tell you what you should believe about money or anything like that. I'm just telling you about I would say the principles about it. So look at your own beliefs about money. Do you believe that money is good or bad? What do you believe is going to happen if you get wealthy or have a lot of money? What do you believe about rich people? What do you believe about poor people? What do you believe about money in general? What's your overall feelings about it? And if you sit there and ask yourself these questions and treat money, this is also from Ken Honda. He's a money expert from Japan. And he tells people to almost like have dinner with money. Like if you were to have dinner with money, what would money say to you? How would money interact with you? What would you say to money, and what would it say back to you? So if you personify money and have a conversation with it, it's going to be really interesting and will reveal a lot of the beliefs that you have about it. And then you can start changing it. Once you become aware of it, it's pretty much impossible not to change it if you don't particularly like it. So do those exercises, really take a good audit of how you interact with it, your bank account, what your parents believe about money. That's a big thing too. My parents' beliefs about money is completely different than what I believe about money. So do those exercises and personify money and have a conversation with it, really have fun with it. And through that process, you're going to discover what kind of beliefs you have about money. And that in itself will transform your whole entire life and your relationship with it and begin having a whole new reality with it. So that's all I have for this episode. Thank you guys so much for watching and listening. If there's anything else I can do for you guys, definitely let me know down in the comments, and any other content you'd like me to make. Other than that, I'll talk to you guys soon. I love you all.